Hi, can you just introduce to the camera like who you are and just what you do?
Hi, I'm David Holz. I'm the CEO and founder of Midjourney.
So can you just tell us a little bit about what inspired you to create Midjourney and just how it differs from other diffusion models?
We were the first company to actually deliver diffusion models at scale. I think it was, before DALL-E came out, it was we were the very first ones to literally just have diffusion models for a lot of people. It takes a lot of machines to do that. We were probably one machine for every 10 active users. So I said, if I want to have 100,000 users, I need 10,000 machines. And in 2021, it was hard to come by 10,000 GPUs. But luckily, I built another company before that called Leapmotion. I was sort of well-known, well-trusted. I was able to just go to Google and be like, Google, I need 10,000 machines.
So how does Midjourney differ from Leapmotion?
Well, Leapmotion was about hand tracking, so we would track hands in the air with markerless camera, computer vision, and you could interact with things in the air and manipulate things. So it was more about tracking and human-computer interaction, whereas Midjourney is more about the process and pillars of creation, and how do we sort of think about what it means to create so that we can make better ways of creating. Hopefully then recreate the world. There's a lot of things we have to change.
Right. So did you start by yourself or did you start with a team, or how did that process start?
I mostly just started with, let's say I made all the mistakes in my first company, so it's the second company. Wasn't super hard anymore.
Wow.
But it was really just me at the beginning, and then I hired some people, and I spent my own money. Midjourney is weird because we have no investors.
Oh, wow.
So I just spent all my money until I had negative $1,000.
Oh my gosh.
And then we made money, and so we're okay now.
Wow, awesome.
I paid myself back.
That's sick. What about ethical considerations of diffusion models? Because obviously, does it train off of publicly available images, or what do you think about the ethical considerations of all that?
I don't really think. What do I say? There was an interesting conversation recently with somebody making an AI version of Doom, which is a video game.
Yeah, Doom.
And somebody's like, how dare you train on Doom?
Right.
And then the guy who made Doom, John Carmack, was like, I don't really mind training on my game.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were like, how could you is your creation, you let him train on it? He goes, it's like, well, someone invents a hammer. You shouldn't be mad if they put nails in with it. You can't be angry at hammers.
Yeah.
Hammers are good. We have hammers. We're better now.
Right.
So there's this idea that I definitely think that how should I say? The broader question is AI going to help us solve problems?
Yeah. So okay.
And can we make the world better?
Just expanding on that a little bit. How do you think AI will transform life as we know it in the future? Because obviously, I remember when ChatGPT came out my freshman year, and it was this whole new thing. And we were talking about how it could replace journalists and all that. How do you think AI can transform the world soon?
Well, it's already changing the world.
Right.
I mean, arguably, I think we all know it's changing it.
Right.
I think the questions are more of what doesn't change, which will be really interesting. Yeah, it's really everything is going to change.
Yeah.
And the only thing the only real question is, what do we want to become?
What do you think will always stay the same? Are there any fields that you think will never change because of AI, or?
Everything will probably change. It's sort of like the invention of fire or the wheel, or the beginning of using water for power or for transportation. It's a different thing.
Right. Okay.
Just said, but it's cool. You get to live through that.
Doesn't happen.
That actually has been happening a lot the last 100 years, actually. Again, I think it'd be scary if things didn't change.
Yeah, I think so.
Because in a lot of ways, I think you could ask I think without technology, there's an argument that civilization might be on its way down. And then I think technology's on its way up. So the question is, can technology offset all the other problems we have?
Do you think AI is
really
the next kind of frontier of technology then? Or?
There's AI, there's bio, there's human-computer interaction, there's systems intelligence, there's basic forms of. The Leonardo da Vinci has this paper called "How to Survive the Post-Human Era," and it talks about the singularity in 4 things. There's the AI singularity, which is we make AI smart. There's the cyborg one, which is humans are smart, they're not smart, they're put them together, make them smarter. There's the bio one, and we can make our biology better. We're just better through biology. And then there's the Gaia one, which is maybe everything just wakes up kind of spontaneously, collectively.
Yeah.
And I think all of these things are real, exciting areas that you could work on. I think there's a lot of questions. What does the world look like after that? But to get to be a part of that transition, it's kind of his argument, the words he used, which I like actually, is that all of these things coming together will in aggregate have as big of an effect as the rise of life on Earth.
Wow.
And so I think if you get to think about that, that sounds pretty cool. We didn't get to be a part of the rise of life on Earth. We got to the end of that. We missed that. whereas this is a new thing.
Right,
And
right.
I mean, we'll still be around, but the question is, but I think we'll be different. The question is, what do we want to become? And it really is the key question. What do we want to become?
Do you think AI can ever become dangerous? Do you think that's ever like a real possibility?
I would say everything with power has, tool can be used for good and bad.
Right.
There's nothing. I mean, somebody invented fire. I'm sure they're saying we can't teach anybody how to make fire. Someone will burn the town down. Somebody probably did.
Yeah, that's true.
But
But like in terms of like AI getting,
we're okay. We're okay.
right? Like in terms of like AI getting sentience, do you think that's ever like a real possibility?
Yeah,
or?
of course. I think the AI is already non-zero conscious.
Oh wow.
Like more conscious than an ant.
Yeah. So do you think AI eventually will become conscious to a point where it might like Skynet or something, like overtake civilization? Do you think that's a real possibility?
We already have super intelligence, superhuman entities. We have superhuman entities on Earth. They're called governments and corporations.
Oh,
and maybe they already have taken over.
Oh, that's an interesting.
Who controls all the missiles? Who does the superhuman entity?
It's a super scary thought.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's an argument that as the AIs get better, they actually just get absorbed by the existing superhuman entities like the corporations and the governments.
Wow. Yeah.
So there's a whole superhuman ecology that already exists and has existed for thousands of years.
Wow.
And it's very important to think about that. Otherwise, those things will just take anything we make.
Yeah, right.
And so there's the question is really a bigger question was like, how do we want the superhuman ecology to change? How are we a part of it? How do we want it to be different? Because they're not like fully conscious yet. Governments are non-zero conscious.
Yeah, right.
Just like the AIs.
Right.
But they're probably not as conscious as a person. But a lot of these things might start to wake up.
Oh wow.
And so we have to think about that too before they do maybe.
Right. Did you hear about I can't remember specifically, but there was a Chat GPT model that there was a replica of a Chat GPT model and it killed the old existing one because it knew that it was going to get replaced. There was something that happened there. It was pretty crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot. I mean,
AI on AI homicide, do you think that's a thing that'll happen?
I think that the AIs will be more worried about competing with other AIs than with humans.
Oh, wow.
Because humans are mostly scared of humans and AI,
Right.
cats mostly care about cats.
Yeah.
So AIs will probably mostly care about AIs.
Wow.
But not in it's more of they're scared of other AIs.
Yeah. Competition-wise.
Yeah, competition-wise.
That's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, we're different. You don't think about competing with a cat.
Yeah.
We're different. And
Yeah.
so we'll have different niches in some way. No one knows what that is yet.
Right. What do you think is the most powerful AI right now? Like DeepSeek, ChatGPT, there's all these different AIs, LLM models and stuff floating around. Do you think there's one that's the most powerful right now?
I mean, everyone likes Claude. People generally like Claude most for programming.
Right.
Gemini 2.5 for intelligence, which recently overtook all the other ones.
Wow.
And then I like DeepSeek for anything involving ancient Chinese literature or anything involving Eastern culture,
right.
which I love. I read a lot of ancient Chinese literature. So it's they have more. It's because it's trained on actual ancient data corpuses,
Right.
For knowledge related to that. The DeepSeek blows everything else out.
Yeah. So you think Claude AI is the best for coding and stuff like that?
It's kind of cardinals. I think everyone would say it's Claude or Gemini. But in Silicon Valley, it's all Claude or Gemini.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Maybe people feel Gemini is smarter one shot, but Claude is sort of more agentically tuned for programming. So people use a lot of cursor and windsurf or whatever it's called.
If you could collaborate with any person, dead or alive, right now, to help you with Midjourney, who would that be and why?
If it was the 8-year-old me, I'd say Tesla because I love Tesla. And he'd say something crazy, right? He's crazy. Yeah. Or if I was older, I'd probably say I can't say. I'm gonna butcher the name in Chinese. It's Zhuangzi. He's the one with the butterfly dream. He's an ancient philosopher that talked a lot about beauty and uncertainty and broader human things. Yeah. And I think we need a lot of that too to figure out what to do.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to be in this interview. I won't bother you anymore. I know you have a huge panel to be in, so thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Do you want to do one more?